Hi, everybody. Welcome to another CLAT Tutor Legal discussion. Today, we'll be talking about the toolkit case. I'm Shashank Tiwari, and let's just jump into it. Most of you would be wondering what is a toolkit and why did the toolkit case get so much media attention? So let's break it down one by one. First, let's understand what a toolkit is and what does it mean. A toolkit is nothing but a flyer or a poster or a pamphlet which gives information to people who want to achieve a common objective. Most often in the digital era now, toolkits are very common in protests and other situations where you want to disseminate a lot of information to a lot of people to explain, okay, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do. And the toolkit comes in very handy because you can share it online with everybody else. Now, Disha Ravi is an individual who is 22 years old and she's from Bangalore. She played a part in preparing this toolkit. And this particular toolkit was shared online by several individual people for the farmers' protest that was happening in and around Delhi. Now, one of the people who shared this toolkit was Greta Thunberg. I'm sure some of you must know her. She's one of the youngest and most proactive climate activists in the world who gained a lot of attention internationally in the past 5 years. So she shared this, which made this entire toolkit a lot more public. And the Delhi police got involved. And let's get to that. But first, we need to understand who Disha Ravi is and what is going on here. Disha Ravi is a 22-year-old activist in Bangalore who plays a very important role in the Fridays for Future campaign in India. The Fridays for Future campaign, as most of you know, is Greta Thunberg's environmental campaign where she calls on school students and young individuals to take Fridays as one of the days where they ask questions to their leaders, to the government, what is being done to protect the climate. So Fridays for Future is an international movement. Disha Ravi is one of the members of the Fridays for Future campaign in Bangalore, India. Now, this toolkit that was made was apparently made along keeping in mind the Poetic Justice Foundation and taking help from those groups and this another group called Six for Justice, which is apparently banned in India due to several reasons in the past. So Disha Ravi was associated, or the government says that she was involved in making a toolkit with certain groups of individuals, some of them who are banned. Now, the Delhi police files an FIR, and the charge is of sedition, which is section 124A of the Indian Penal Code. And sedition is a very serious offense. And the claim was that Disha Ravi, through this toolkit, was promoting disaffection against the country. And through the protests and whatever message that she apparently wanted to convey in the toolkit, the Delhi police says that the intention was to hurt the nation. Now, Disha Ravi was arrested in Bangalore and taken to Delhi, and the FIR was filed by the Delhi police. Note that the Bangalore police wasn't directly involved in this as one of the people charging her for sedition. So, what is the issue and why did this gain so much traction? The most important thing that we know in the criminal justice system is that every accused has the right to be represented by a lawyer or counsel of their own choice. Disha Ravi was apparently denied that. Her lawyers were not informed of when she was being taken where, which court her hearing was in, what time it was, and several other things which her lawyer says that the Delhi police was obliged to tell them and the Delhi police failed to do so. Now, Disha Ravi was given a lawyer, but that was through the government, and it was a lawyer appointed by the government, not of her own choice. Now, media reports and Disha Ravi's lawyers did mention that all of these things happened. But again, the court or the judgment did not go into the validity of this as much as the media did, or the media avoided in that sense. Because the media was just talking about her and what she's done and how she wants to hurt the country, but nothing about the legal proceedings and due process. One of the key major things here was her being taken from Bangalore to Delhi without the proper procedure. Usually when this happens, you're supposed to inform the nearest magistrate and get a transit remand, which is like a slip to say that we are taking this person from this city to that city and they will be tried in that court where we are taking her. In this situation, apparently all those things were botched up and there was no clarity on anything of the sort. And that's what her lawyers say. Now, eventually, she did get bail from the Patiala House Sessions Court, and she still is under bail. Now, let's look at why this is so relevant or what the importance of this was. The first and most foremost thing was the media trial and the sensationalism it got. We know that this was about the farmers' protest, which was already being covered in some parts by different media houses. And Disha Ravi being targeted as a 22-year-old individual, being associated with banned groups, helping protests, further develop. That's why the media caught on to her. And in the past, the media has done that with several individuals, whether that be Riya Chakravarti or Kangana Ranaut. The targeting that the media does was another reason why this became so sensational, because it was an easy target to catch on to, and it got a lot of views for them. Now, a last thing why this is relevant for us as law students and aspirants for the CLAT exam is that the importance of due procedure, which was ignored, especially in the criminal system, where it's the entire government against one individual, and this individual being denied their fundamental rights, and especially basic criminal justice rights. That's why it's so important for us. And added to this is the recent government action into sedition laws and how they're charging different individuals who have their own voice and who dissent. That's why this case becomes so important for us as law students and for the CLAT exam. But that is the brief summary of it. That's all that we have to share and talk about today. If you have any further questions, please feel free to write to us at hello@clattutor.com. And that's all for this session. Take care, stay safe. See you next time.